Today we're going to predict the closing price of AMC on Friday. What will be the price of AMC? Why do I have an idea that I think that I can predict the price of AMC tomorrow? Why do I think this? I'm going to show you guys the chart, talk more about why I believe AMC will not go higher than 20.50 on Friday, and it will not go lower than $18. Taking a look right now at the chart on AMC and talking more about this move. Let's break it down. Let's go. So pulling up the chart here on AMC, what's very interesting is just the other day, I identified a couple of things on the chart. We talked about that $19 area being so important for a breakout to the upside. I also drew these yellow lines here for the idea that AMC would push up to this resistance. And I don't know about you guys, but it's looking a lot like it wants to follow that exact little plan right now up to that resistance area. And you can see kind of I had that like moving higher here, and the idea of AMC pushing up. Now you can see AMC broke above that resistance that we identified pretty much at that $19 level. It had a big push up there to 2070. It got denied. It pulled back. You get selling pressure at the tops of these wicks. Selling. It pulls back to this level here. You can see the EMA starting to form at the bottom of the price action, causing support, causing bullish movement higher from there. And right now, the price of AMC is $19.93. So if we look at this move right now on the smaller time frames, it's basically been stuck here at this $20 level for quite some time. Yesterday, resistance was right here at this level. You can see the market, the overall stock has just not been able to push above yesterday's resistance there at that point of the $20 level. You had the resistance up here at the 20.50. Now, when I'm looking at the options on AMC right now, I'm looking at the options, and what I'm seeing is that I believe, based on what the options are telling me, is that obviously the market makers have, they know what they're doing. They have a plan. They don't want to lose money. Market makers don't want to lose money in the end, the option sellers and all that. But if I look at the options right now, there's a massive amount of options being sold at the 20.50 area. And there's also a massive amount of puts trying to be sold between $18.50 and $18. So that leads me to believe that AMC will not break below the $18 level tomorrow. I would say like this would be our area. You can see kind of, well, look at that. Okay, that's actually very interesting because it lines up right where this previous support was. So there's a lot of options, those puts being sold or trying to be sold in this level here. And then there's also a lot of things being sold up here at this level. So this is basically the idea that AMC will not push above 20.50 and it will not break below 18.50 on Friday. So as long as AMC basically closes between $19 and, well, between $18.50 and $20.50, all of those options that are trying to be sold or people trying to get that, those sells through there at the $20.50 area there, and then at this level here at the $18.50, well, that pretty much is leading me to believe that AMC will close on Friday in between this area here. And I would say, I'm not going to say exactly the price, but I'm just thinking that we're not going to close above 20.50 and it's not going to break below 18.50, but more so kind of fizzle in this area here and kind of maybe we'll close, around the 19 and 19.50 area. So that's based on basically what I'm looking at with the options there and seeing kind of where the volume is, where people are selling the most options, and the idea that most options expire worthless. So pretty much if AMC closes between $19.50 and $19, all of those options, the puts would then expire worthless, and then anything above up here would obviously expire worthless, and all of those call options that are trying to be sold at the 20.50 area, they would obviously expire worthless. So I know a lot of people say that it doesn't matter about the charts, it doesn't matter about options, things like that, but there's obviously something to be said about where the option sellers are selling at. They're selling a massive amount at those levels. They're trying to sell, 19 to 50 $19 to $18.50 area there, and then they're trying to sell a bunch up here from 20 to 20.50. So there's $20 call options and 20.50 call options. So that would, like I said, kind of lead me to believe that AMC on Friday would close in this level here below 19.50, and I guess pretty much, in here at this point. So that's kind of what we're looking at. If we look at the weekly chart here on AMC right now, let's zoom out here and look at the weekly chart. The weekly chart is looking obviously very bullish. It's pushed up. We do have a lot of resistance at that level there. If you go back and you look at some of the previous moves here on AMC and kind of the price action, how you have a lot of, wicks, a lot of selling pressure on the tops of these candles. AMC still pushed up even after having those big wicks there. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Is it going to push up into this resistance again here at that level? I'm very interested to see, does this kind of play out the way we've kind of expected this to play out, or as I'm expecting this to play out. So on the weekly chart, looking like ding 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 ding, push up here to $28 level. As long as it can hold this overall trend, that's very doable, I think, to push up to that previous resistance, that overall downtrend that we've seen multiple times. You can see how AMC has rallied back multiple times up to that resistance level, rallied back, pushed up, but it hasn't really touched that level so quite some time. So that's why I'm still thinking that there's a very good chance that it does want to push up to that overall trend line here before making that next leg lower from there. But let's see. The thing is, as I see this, is pushing up right now again to that 2050 level. If it pushes up to 2050, that would allow a lot of those option sellers to sell, because they're going to sucker in a lot of people to buy those options between 20 and 2050. And then on Friday, they would try to push the price back down to this level here, so that all those options up here get expired worthless, and then all these options down here expire worthless, basically wanting the price of AMC to be right around this level here, basically anything below $19.50 and then above $19. So or really above this level, $18.50, or so I guess if I'm going to put a price target on it for tomorrow, I'm going to put a price target here at the $19.50 area. Now, obviously, that's trading. I could be totally wrong here. This is just an opinion. This is kind of what I'm seeing with the market right now, where we're at. We're heading into a 3-day weekend. Will that lead people to want to buy more, to sell more? It's always the $1,000,000 question. But right now, it looks like the SPY wants to kind of bounce back here off of that 440 level. So it would lead me to believe that there is a good possibility that if this does play out the way that I'm thinking it's going to play out, it would really sucker in a lot of people to buy those options up here at the 2050 area, and then try to get the price back down below $20 there on Friday. So that's just what I'm seeing with the options right now, overall resistance. But if you look at the bigger picture, I do believe that AMC does want to break out from here. It's looking like a very kind of strong, I'm going to say almost bull flag here. It pushes above 2050 area, and you got that next resistance there at 21. And then after that, you got the next resistance around that $24 level there. So pretty much, you got $24 resistance there. And then you've got the next resistance, I guess, would be up here, lining up pretty much perfectly in line with that resistance there, the $28 level. And like I said, I drew these lines on the chart last week there, kind of predicting this move higher on AMC, bouncing multiple times off of that $15 level and pushing up here now to $20.10. Will the options tell a story here? That's the question. Do we see a story? Is there a secret to the options here? You might ask, well, Patrick, why don't you make a trade here? The problem is the IV on the AMC options are so high, so you really need a drastic move. If I was going to try to make money here, there's just no money to be made thinking that the price of AMC is going to be $19.50 or lower tomorrow, because there's just, the options, the premium is just not there, or the premium's too high to try to make options make money on that small of a move. You really need like a 10 to 20% move here on AMC to get those options to make the move that we need to get the money, the premium, and all that stuff. If AMC closes at $20.50 tomorrow, those options are still going to be, they're only going to be worth, less than 10 cents or so. So that's something to think about if you're trading options on AMC. But like I said, this is all just based on the idea of what the options are saying right now. And we'll see tomorrow, does this play out the way that the options are basically showing us? Is it a little secret? Is it a secret to know where the price of AMC will be tomorrow? Basically, like I said, to recap, we are expecting the price of AMC to not get above 2050 or not close above 2050 tomorrow, and then would not break below $18 or even $18.50. So pretty much like right in this level here. I would say like below 1950 there on AMC. The $1 million question. You know, I'm putting it out there. A lot of people like to make predictions. A lot of people like to talk about what they think a stock's going to do and all that. But I'm actually putting this out there and, you know, and kind of putting my, I guess, I wouldn't say my reputation here, but, you know, we're looking at what the options are doing and kind of getting an idea. And it'll be interesting tomorrow to see, does this play out the way that we're thinking it might play out? So if you guys have already, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe button, all the buttons down below. I will talk to you guys later on.